Have you found them? Is that interesting?
I thought you were talking to me.
$2.99 each. You can make a fortune there. You all look different anyway, yeah. Yeah, so that basket is getting emptier and emptier. And because there's no, your hair has too many colors.
I don't know, I've just got it done.
That's what makes it difficult.
Yeah, I've just got it done at hairdressers.
Just,
Yeah.
that's because you guys mess a lot with the hair. That's why they want to start to get to as the colors they want to. I look at this. This will be fine, but this will be fine. It doesn't suit that. I don't know what to do there. But
Because the
this is fine
semantics
for
point of view, we're saying the same thing in different ways, but we're not. I'm saying to you, you also have some authority over women. I say to you, you have no right to any authority over women. You do have a child as your child, because you are the legally appointed guardian of that child. So you're not the legally appointed guardian or authority over your wife or female guardian.
Legally appointed, absolutely not. I agree. However, when it comes to things like personal responsibility or personal safety, men largely
busy.
we can sit here and pretend that we will be living.
You never bought any perfume that we have.
No. So I do one person. I do one next time.
Degree of responsibility to protect us. So I have a degree of responsibility to protect her physically. But the point I'm
How
trying to
much
make
do
is,
you have?
I will do my best to make sure she's never put
Good
herself
for
on
your
self-
work.
on
When you
serious-
got people asking you. I'm telling you, you got a lot of these. You got here, Bill.
She would come to me and say,
I know why I'm doing it because when you go out there, people will be asking you, what's that? Where did you get it from? And you're coming
Yeah. I owe you. You know what you're doing.
Pierce, if a woman comes to me and says, I want you to keep me safe, she is handing me authority for her safety.
But do you understand the difference between having authority over somebody and somebody giving you permission to have authority? One is consensual and one
I've got any back?
because you literally say, I must have a degree of authority.
Oh, I'm happy with that. It's very cheap.
And the point
from next time, if they finish, you will get more. You have more there, but people, we don't sell a lot of things.
Just follow.
Yeah.
To my
I was replanning some stuff, you know, the night.
When the right person comes, he's very happy.
I'm happy. Thank you very much.
But an 18-year-old boy breathes, I must have some authority over a woman.
Well, I understand that, and I said this earlier when you tried to sound backtracking, which I'm not doing.
No, actually, I'm not trying to gotcha you.
Cool.
I'm trying to work out exactly what you.
I understand with massive
yes,
pain comes massive responsibility. I understand that a percentage of the population are always going to take everything that's said by anybody out of context.
Would you change the wording of what you said?
No, I would just encourage people to watch my long format copy and understand.
When you tell an 18-year-old boy you don't have
Thank you very much.
authority over
I want to assault you with this. What's your favorite perfume? Alien? Have you bell?
My safety, please make sure keep me safe.
I think
That's that one is Coco Chanel.
Yeah, but
And this is Happy Bell.
Because you're taking a soundbite.
And it's only $5.45 for small wallet. So wherever you're going, if someone tells you that it's good, you know where to come. Coco Chanel I said, and Happy Bell, okay? Have a good day. And if someone needs to contact them to your friend, send them around here.
And they explain, well, I'm responsible for your safety, I have the authority to make decisions.
I don't see that like, I don't want to
18, 19-year-old woman more attractive than 25-year-old.
I think there's attractive people, that's the way it's attractive.
Well, it's not really, is it?
I can't,
You know why?
of course I do, but I can't sit here and
For the
say.
benefit of you who don't know what I'm saying, you said this, in general, this is also one of the reasons men find youth attractive. You want to go up the internet, I'll go up the internet without checking that. The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less dick. People say, oh, you can't say that. Yes, I can. A 19-year-old more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys, been to the club more times, been effed and dumped more times, more arguments, more mess, more for me to clean up. That is misogyny.
Why?
Because you are encouraging a mindset about 25-year-old women that makes them sound out to be infinitely less desirable than 18, 19-year-olds, and having effectively been having too much sex to be taken in a more respectful way.
Firstly, even if that was the case, that wouldn't be the question.
So what do you mean by what you said?
That's not the question, because it's not anti-women. I'm saying that an 18 or 19-year-old woman would be
It's pretty anti-25-year-old.
anti-25-year-old woman, we can argue, but not misogyny.
Well, that's misogyny.
No, that's
Well, being anti any woman at all is misogyny.
not what I'm saying that women are beautiful and attractive at a certain age. It's saying that age.
You're saying 18, 19 are more attractive than 25.
Well, then ageist perhaps, but misogynistic
Is
absolutely.
that what I mean? You just accepted it was misogyny.
No, I didn't. You said it was misogyny. I'm telling you, no, it's not.
You don't think if you're saying slightly hateful things about it,
That's not slightly hateful.
well, it is. You say that to a woman's face if she's 25?
It's not slightly hateful.
When you look up to a 25-year-old woman and tell her exactly what it is,
Why would I walk up to a random
because you
25-year-old
said
woman?
it in public on the internet and it's being listened to and watched by millions and millions of young
Correct.
impressionable girls.
Correct. There was a large panel. There was a conversation. There was hours long of conversation. There were feminists attacking men for toxic masculinity and attacking me and saying things. And I said things back which were going to
And I
antagonize
think,
them.
see,
So what you've done yourself a bunch of
I
times.
think a lot of allegations of toxic masculinity are not toxic.
Correct.
I do think that kind of sentence that I just read out, that paragraph, is actually toxic. If you genuinely mean that, and you say you wouldn't say it to a woman's face, but you said it in public about women of that age, I do think that's misogynist. And I think you probably do too.
I don't think it's misogynistic. I understand why it can be insulting.
So you wouldn't say it to a woman's face.
Well, it depends. You're making out like I'm walking around the street going up to random
What are
25.
you doing? You're doing it to tens of millions of people online. There's no difference.
Not at all. We're discussing a topic. We're discussing the ideal age of a man.
Should young boys, right, in their teens, are you comfortable that they would have that mindset? Be honest.
I think that young boys in their teens lack life experience. They lack nuance. And they need to be very, very careful what they're digesting online, whether it's my content or anybody else's. I think
You know for a fact millions of them are digesting exactly what you're saying.
completely, the entire internet to a degree, I think any subject you can find, there's gonna be a whole.
Can I come back to the Joe Rogan thing, Andy? Is that a lot of what you say, I agree with.
Yeah.
Right? I do, genuinely. I've read there's a lot of stuff you said. A lot of the stuff you talk about, I think it's got a good point. I think we agree about all the things. But when I read that kind of thing, I'm like, how much of that is you? How much of that is some act? Do you regret saying stuff like this?
I don't-
Actually, do you see it as weakness to admit you shouldn't have said something like that?
No, I don't live with regret. I think what's happened is that, like I said, long format content, arguments with feminists, arguments with the toxic masculine crowd, arguments with the left, and they're gonna take a small clip, small sentence from ours, and they're gonna try and paint me as a
But I'm not left or right.
I don't know what you are.
Exactly. That's my point. No, that's my point.
And I understand, and you're doing exactly as I knew would happen on this interview, which is, because you're a busy man, you're not gonna watch hours and hours and hours of video.
Actually, I have watched hours and hours of video, and I'm going to come to the stuff where I agree with you, and I'm going to come to the stuff about your censorship, which
Sure.
I have issues with. So this is, it's a long interview, right?
Sure.
I just thought off the top, you said to me, you're quite bold about it. Well, go on, then let's go through these.
And you should keep going. I will sit here and stand by what I said. I believe that
On
man.
that, I've just read to you.
Yeah.
Do you wish you hadn't said that?
I understand how it's been misconstrued. I understand how it's been weaponized against me. Do I regret it because it's been weaponized and used against me? Well, that's slightly annoying. Did
That's not why I
did,
want you
did
to
I at the time mean what I said in the context of the conversation, which obviously you're not familiar with, and the people at home are not familiar with? No, I meant what I said.
The 25-year-old women that just talk to more guys, been to the club more times, being effed and dumped more times, more arguments, more mess, more for me to clean up.
Well, there's a whole bunch of context and conversation on that that's been missed, and I
I don't
encourage.
think I'm missing much content.
Well, I encourage people who are interested to go watch it.
I mean, I've just read out 3 sentences on the balance there. I don't think there's any context I'm missing. I mean, you made it pretty clear what you think about the difference between 18 and 90-year-old women.
I wasn't talking about myself. I was talking with a Muslim guy who was on the panel, and he was explaining how youth is very valued in most parts of the world, and why virginity is valued in most parts of the world. The feminists were arguing against it, and I was sitting there actually very much like you, a mediator between the two, explaining why in most of the world still today, perhaps not in the Western world, virginity is coveted, youth is coveted in most of the world, and throughout all of human history. And I was sitting there making the point, explaining why in certain parts of the world they think how they do,
Well,
even though it's very different to the Western world. So I was making a point, mediating between two groups very similar to yourself. The conversation has been misunderstood. They've taken a clip of it. It's been weaponized and used against me. I understand that is because I'm now the most famous Google person on the planet. It's inconvenient, sure, but I'm definitely not a danger to women in any regard. I date women 25, 26, 27 years old all the time. None of them are offended by the things
I
I
don't think
say.
you're a danger to women. I think the danger, if it concerns you, the danger is the influence you have on young men to have this kind of mindset about women. And that's really where I'm trying to get to what you really believe and how much you've just shot off because you think it's like entertaining and you haven't really given it much thought. And whether now you're a bit older and you've had all the fallout, whether part of you is thinking, actually, if I had, as Joe Rogan says, if you hadn't said stuff like this, you'd probably still be on these platforms, you'd be massively more popular, massively more famous, massively richer. So I'm really just trying to get to, on the blatantly misogynist stuff, you just wish you hadn't said it.
With great power comes great responsibility. It was certainly said before the great power came. It's inconvenient to a degree. However, like I said at the time, with the context of the conversation, I know that I'm not saying things which I believe to be detrimental to the world. However, they've been misconstrued, they've been misunderstood.
If a 25-year-old woman was watching this, would you say, I'm sorry for saying that?
Well, I wouldn't want anyone to be offended by anything I say. But I say things that offend, and this is the thing that's interesting, Piers, please let me finish.
I mean, again, you're behaving like a politician, but hang on. You can say I'm interrupting.
You do.
But you're answering a different question to the one I asked you. So, as an interviewer, you're
Sure, okay,
you're
sure,
behaving-
sure, okay, let's, sure.
Okay, you accept that. Let's accept we both got on. Okay. So again, my point is simply, if a 26-year-old woman is watching this and has heard those comments,
Yeah.
would you just say to her, look, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
No, I won't. I will say that I am sorry that that offends you. However, there's a large contingent of the world.
That doesn't mean you're sorry.
No, I'm not sorry. That's the point I'm making. I'm sorry that offends you. However, there's a large contingent of the world that believe that, and I was mediating for a conversation.
Parts of the world that believe that about 26-year-old women are parts of the world where women are not allowed out on their own.
That's a
They have to
conversation.
wear full burqas.
So that's a
They're
conversation.
not allowed to drive cars.
That's nothing to do.
But is that the kind of world for women that you?
I was mediating a
No,
conversation.
I'm asking you what you think.
I don't live in a country where that happens.
So you're using that as the excuse for why you're not sorry for saying it.
It's not an
Because there are
excuse.
parts of the world where this is fine.
My
So
friend,
my question to you is, well, do you think it's fine?
I don't think it's fine. I live in a world where
You don't think it's fine?
the reason
This isn't that hard, Andrew. You can simply say, Piers, you know what? With the benefit of hindsight, I wish I hadn't said it like that. And if a 26-year-old woman's watching, I'm sorry I said that, because that actually is blatantly misogynist. And even though that's a view held by other parts of the world, it's not a view I share. Now, I would respect that.
Yeah.
But if you try and say, well, it's said in other parts of the world, so I'm not sorry.
I think
Then tell me what you think.
Then you need to understand why my content
That
existed
one
in
and
the
that
first
one.
place. My content existed because I tried my very hardest to be an absolute not a realist, especially with uncomfortable truths. I was pointing out that very
Is
uncomfortable.
that a truth?
It's an uncomfortable truth in many parts of the world. It's not a truth that I'm happy about. It's not a truth I'm creating.
Hang on. You're doing it again. What do you mean that's a truth in other parts of the world? That's what you said. It's not, you're not talking about another part of the world. You're talking about what you believe is the difference between 18 and 90-year-olds and 26-year-olds.
I was talking
It's
about.
your belief.
I was talking about what the people on the panel believe the difference is.
So what do you think the difference is?
I think the difference is age.
What's the
Those two, and
Well,
those.
then a 26-year-old older than a 19-year-old.
And so you stand by what you said about talking to the guys, being to the club more times, being out to the dump more times.
Well,
You believe that or not?
No, there's plenty of 26-year-old women who have been with one man or virgins, of course.
You don't believe.
I don't think that the age is the only thing that's going to decipher what how many men will.
So if you don't actually believe what you say, just say so.
It's not about not believing what I'm saying. It's about you understanding that there's large
Right,
conversations.
where is it at?
Just reading
Right.
back stuff you
No,
said.
no, I said,
And
don't
I'm
put
asking
them
you if you
there.
believe it.
Yeah,
I believe that it's more
It's
likely
more
that
like
26-year-olds have more
right,
partners.
okay, I'll have that one. How much
Yeah.
goes, darling?
I don't know that. You're right.
In fact, there could be absolutely no evidence of that whatsoever.
Someone here.
So why say it?
It's not about, we're repeating ourselves.
We're not really. I'm just trying to get to what
Yeah,
we
it's
actually
four
believe.
99.
I believe that men find youth attractive in general. I believe that in the context of the
And-
conversation.
You have to have these one.
I agree with you.
No, that's fine.
Especially I'm old. You're, you know, I'm a lot older than you.
Right, yeah, whatever.
The point I was making was part of mediating a panel conversation
Yeah.
between feminists and some
Yeah,
Muslim
I'll
men.
put that
But
back
you
here.
also-
And also I
said
need
the
some,
same-
As far as I know,
clips
you
from
weren't
someone else.
espousing what a
Right,
Muslim
grounded.
man
Yeah.
liked. You were espousing what you think.
I was espousing what the people on the panel believe.
You were saying what you think.
I feel like you're trying to pin me down.
If it's not what you believe, just say, I don't believe that.
What part wouldn't I believe?
Well, you tell me which part you don't believe. There's the sentence. Which part would you now say you don't believe?
I believe that 25-year-old women perhaps have had, because they've been alive longer, maybe have had more partners, but I don't think that makes them a bad person.
Right. Do you understand that the way you phrased it makes every 25
I understand.
a bad person?
No, I don't think so.
Of course you do. Of course you can. Come on.
Pierce,
Actually, not stupid. You know what that sounds like to any 25, 26-year-old woman.
completely. And you're,
Right? So you're relying every 25, 26-year-old woman with that statement. And I'm simply asking you to all those who are not of the type of women that you construct with, are you sorry?
I don't want anybody to be offended by anything I say. I want to be a positive force in the world. I don't want anybody to hear what I say and make them feel bad about themselves. I want all people to live righteous and good, whether they're male or female. And anybody.
You live a righteous life?
I think I do, yeah.
You boasted openly about having 6, 7 partners at once, so is that righteous? I'm not saying there's a moral view from me, simply asking you what you think righteous means.
I think righteous is living true to your heart and knowing that you're doing good by people, not snaking anybody, not lying to anybody. I know I live a very righteous life.
Have you ever been in love?
Yeah.
How many times?
Plenty. I believe in love between men and
Well,
women.
real love, you know, whereas,
I believe,
how many times would you say?
What is that, yeah?
enough. I believe men and women
All
are
the clips
beautiful
behind
union.
the-
I think we're
the
slightly
count-
different,
the
but we
counter.
work together. We're the most powerful force in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, no, lots of got places to go.
I don't know, Piers.
I thought you love staying here.
No, I've got too many
But it
things
looks
to do.
like,
Let's
looks like you don't
say,
anymore.
You don't forget how many people you've been in love with.
let's say 10. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
in love, and I certainly believe that men and women,
Huh?
when they work together, it's the most beautiful force on the planet. I believe in family. I believe in children. I believe in.
If you believe in family and children and love,
Yeah.
why are you single?
I'm not single.
Don't even let him get you mad.
Well,
Here it is.
if I was
Yeah,
married, the
don't
last
let
thing
him
I
get
would
you
do is advertise it to the feral
You know what he does
psychopaths.
then for all his money?
So
I'm not
let's,
feral
Nothing.
psychopath.
well,
Pretty
that
much,
could
Could
be
be friend though.
to be debated here. But
He set up a
the
thing
point
where
the point, but
he
the point I'm
tells you
making
what
as
to
a whole
invest
is
in,
that
but
all
to
of
invest
these-
in him, you have to open 10
no, but let's please for a second.
fucking
Let's please
Facebook
for a second,
pages
because
like
you've interrupted me so many
represented him,
times.
so he's
Okay.
got
Well,
everyone in the
actually,
world
when you
fucking
be clear, when you
advertising
frame
him.
it in a different
And that got him
way.
rich.
Well, then on all
Bloody
these
rich.
points,
Yeah,
Well, come up with
all
your
these points
ideas,
you're
bro.
making on
That's
repeat, you're
36,
taking these
46.
sentences and on repeat, you're using to you're weaponizing them against me.
I'm not
I understand.
weaponizing anything.
Okay, it's fine.
No, you're weaponizing the weaponizing,
No
which doesn't
problem.
exist.
No problem.
You said to me, come on, bring it on, read out all the things that you think are blatant misogyny. All I've done is literally read out all the things we identified from all the research that I thought were blatantly misogynist. I'm giving you the chance to
Thank you.
respond. And the only stuff I'm interrupting you is when you try to
Where's
answer
the
a
clips,
completely
man?
different question.
Understood, Piers.
How many do you want?
But these things were
How many do
said
you want?
in large
Need quite a
context
few.
where often I'm talking about how,
Yeah.
for example, the same podcast where you bring me the sentence.
Or what?
I was talking about how
When you
a
buy the
man's
head,
duty to die by a
when
woman.
you don't
and
buy
I
the head, you
actually
just come for the clips.
Just give me some clips. Okay.
How many do you say?
20.
I'm talking about a man having
Maybe 30. I don't know.
ability to his duties.
You like this color?
Not bothered.
Ways of masculinity. And what happens is, a few sentences, such a long conversation is taken, and you get so I want you to understand that I'm not projecting and dividing.
Hi, Keith. Can I call you back in a second? I'm just in a shop. Hi. Thank you. Thanks, man.
Talking about a man being responsible for her safety. So of course I believe in men. Of course I believe in love. Of course I believe in marriage. Of course I believe in family. The idea that I don't believe in, the idea that I don't believe in these things is not if you believe people when you're married.
Wait,
They absolutely be like, hey, I'm not married already.
Give me another 10.
If I'm not.
Give me another 10.
Another 10.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have a full head of clips. Right, I've got.
Do you believe in the concept?
Completely. That's what we were talking about the whole time. We talked about a man giving a woman away. I believe in marriage more than anybody. In fact, I believe in marriage in, no please, I believe in marriage in the traditional sense. I believe a man has a duty to stand up and be a real man. I believe in the future of the world today that we are facing is that not enough men are at age-old age. I believe that we stand up and say a man must protect the woman of life first. He needs to make sure that she's safe. He needs to bring
Put them in there, yeah. Yeah, you can.
10 plus 2.
See you later.
Where do you see him?
Bye.
Okay. 1 minute, yeah. I was doing these. You told me they're gonna come,
You
but
said if I'm busy,
never called.
you don't need me to do it. That's what you said. You said if you're busy, don't strain yourself to do it because you don't know what you're doing. That's
That's
exactly what you
actually
said.
right, that.
That is exactly what you said, right? And I've been busy.
I don't remember saying anything.
That's exactly what you said. So whether you remember it or not, it happened. This shit happened. When I move, you move. What you doing?
I'm just putting a little bit of operation. I need them for tomorrow.
Oh, new one.
No, the
Restock.
Sauvage and stuff, they are out of stock. The one that sells the most.
Yeah, you should fuck off all the other ones at home, so you know, give them back and say,
We can also do 8 15 mil test please.
And this is actually
8 15 mil test.
and please don't interrupt me.
I'm not
Social
thinking
media
about
has
that.
changed in modern times. YouTube 5 years ago was 5, 6, 7, 8 minute videos. Now we have TikTok, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, YouTube
so these are free.
Now anything you produce,
Yeah, these ones are
You sell these ones?
they're interested in clicks, they're interested in
Yeah.
engagement.
You sell them?
They find
Yeah,
the
yeah,
most-
yeah.
they find the most controversial
Sell
clips
them
they can.
now. Genius business making.
That's for you.
Was it the Hustler?
I had an online school.
Cool.
Hustler's University.
Right. And their whole job was to promote this thing, make you rich and famous. So you benefited from this system, the one you now profess to hate. You benefited from it.
I never said I hated it.
Clickbaited like the rest of them.
I never said I hated it. I'm saying what happened. I don't hate it. I don't hate social media. I think it's a very powerful force. I don't hate the social media. I'm saying
I think you can talk. Look, you can talk to girlfriends of yours. Your secret one. Entirely
or
up to
two.
you. Or two. You maybe you've got 10 wives. That's your business. I don't care. Right? My only thing is, I don't think you're going to try it. If it's consensual between you and another woman, then you like, right? It's your life. I believe in freedom and ability. It's when you say in public, it's the influence that this kind of thing has on young men. Right? And I speak to someone with 3 sons, right? It's, you know, by the way, they're intrigued by you. They're fascinated, right? You're a big thing in that world of TikTok and so on. So they all are aware of you and what you say, so they're all looking. And when they see things like the machete thing, I get the context. Because I'm a 57-year-old guy who's been around the block a bit, and I can get what you said, and you responded to a particular scenario which you created where a woman,
But it can be misunderstood.
I understand. So my point to you is, given that you know it can be misunderstood, do you regret saying things like this on the disseminated by less intelligent young males who think that is actually what they should be doing to women?
And finally we get to the point of the issue, which is what I tried to make at the very beginning.
What's the return? You work that out, you know this off the top of your head. Business economics.
It's not relevant. Where like you start getting 5 million views video, 15 million views video, 1% of people misunderstanding it. It becomes a no, it doesn't. But it becomes a much larger problem. So with great fame comes great responsibility. So I agree. Would I now that
You
I'm
like
famous,
that guy,
do I
don't you?
say things
Andrew
the same
Tate?
as I did
Yeah.
before?
I'm not a massive fan.
They said he was the most searched guy after Donald Trump.
Most what?
Searched guy.
Search.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know what he fucking made all the money off, because no one can fucking get their head around it. You've got fucking 5 million Yankees.
Famous on a camera which barely anybody watched, and then I became famous afterwards. That would be a very asinine way to do it. I can't live in
Do you stand by all those?
I can't live in regret because I didn't know I was become the most famous man on the planet. That regret would be the wrong word. Is it
He loves it, innit?
Sure.
Most famous man on the planet. Well, you have to go fight
Most famous man.
Kanye West to see which one is the. Listen to Kanye West's interview 1 second. Let me get. Huh? Right. I left my damn phone here. I left it there. Sorry, guys. It's the hair doctor National line. You have. This is Mr. Little. Oh, the German F guy. This is the shop. That's the address there. 168 Stamford Street Central, National Line, OL67LR. That's the postcode. 0161 3199097. And you can order on WhatsApp. It's 077 24158. That's it from the hair doctors. Open Monday to Saturday. See you soon. Happy Halloween. If you're looking for Halloween contact lenses, yes, we have them. Check. Check. We have Halloween contact lenses here. Oh. We have all the goodies that you're looking for. We even have a Halloween corner. So contact us on WhatsApp. That's 077 24158. That's the hair doctors for you in Manchester.
It would be stupid for me to sit here and say that now I'm
Hello?
famous